My name is Martha Jo Atkins, and I help people by being a steady presence when they're at end of life. I see people who are fearful, I see people who are anxious, and there are levels of that on a continuum just like there are any feelings. And when it gets to the high end, it is difficult for them. They're uncomfortable in the bed, they're uncomfortable in their own skin. Oftentimes family members and the person who's dying themselves don't quite understand what's happening to them, and they get worried. And so a lot of my work is around affirming what's happening to them, that it's normal and natural and part of this big old life that we all have, and that's all going to end sometime. My oldest brother died when I was 23. It was unexpected. He died in his sleep, and my family's experience of being a family completely changed. My experience of being a sister changed. I was working at the time at a children's hospital in an intensive care unit and on a neuroscience unit. It worked as a child life specialist, and we help kids cope and adjust to illness and hospitalization. And then phone call came in the middle of the night that Jim had died. So my personal and professional worlds really collided. My sense of safety was shattered. You know, this person I adored was gone, and there was no way to brace against that. It just happened. And I was sad in a way I'd never been sad before, and I didn't have interest in doing things, and I cried a lot, and I wanted to fix it. I read books, and I went to a therapist, and I started taking antidepressants, and there were these things that I thought I needed to do to fix this. And we all, my mother and father and brother and I all had our own ways of managing that, and my way was to start a children's grief center and create this space for kids to come to have a place to talk about what they needed to talk about. It's exactly what I needed. I needed a place to talk about this. My family needed a place to talk about it. And what happened as I got further and further into the children's grief work, that became my world. And I'd sit on the airplane next to somebody, and what do you do? And well, I work at this children's bereavement center. Well, let me tell you a story. And so I began to collect stories, and the stories were fascinating to me. I'm still collecting stories. I get stories of angel visits, and I get stories of I saw my dad in the bedroom. I get stories of my mother came and told me goodbye. Just all these really beautiful, I think they're beautiful, examples of what can happen for some people at end of life. And without fail, those stories have a measure of comfort for those people. And when a person who is at end of life looks up to the ceiling and talks about the opening, and somebody's looking down at them, or somebody's thrown a rope down for them, but the rope's not quite long enough, that has meaning to me now. And as I began to talk to people about what I was seeing, they said to me they were less fearful, or, oh, this makes sense to me in a way it didn't before. And that's really gratifying. If there's something about that experience that makes sense to them, I do know that I can be steady, and I can be still, and I can sit there with them in the middle of it. Some people can't do that. And for whatever reason, I can. And it feels good to be able to do that. The work I do has caused me to treasure my friends and family more than I ever have. And to treasure my time, and to use it in ways that makes me happy and makes other people happy.